Evening, this is a meeting of the Township Committee, September 8th, 2020. The notice requirements provided for in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Star River Times by posting at the Middletown Township Municipal Building and filing with the Township Clerk on January 9th, 2020. Committeeman Heigl.
Here.
Committeeman Sedafrida.
Here.
Committeewoman Snow.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Fiore. Mayor Perry.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence to honor the troops serving worldwide, defending our constitutions, freedoms, and way of life. Thank you. The first item on tonight's agenda, we have a proclamation recognizing September 2020 as Pediatric Career Awareness Month in Middletown Township. At this time, I'd like to invite Andrea Verdone-Gorsigner to please come forward, the founder of Infinite Love for Kids Fighting Cancer.
Okay. 16, yeah. So, welcome everybody. Thank you very much. I first want to start off by, saying that obviously this September, across America, it's being proclaimed Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. And it's an incredibly important month to bring awareness and to all the, not just the wonderful organizations that work like Infinite Love for Kids, but the struggles that real families have when a child is diagnosed with cancer. Obviously, none of us ever want to feel what that's like. But last year, I was just thinking of this. We were at Luffman Towers when we proclaimed this, and Chief Gorsinger was there and accepted the proclamation on your behalf. But this year is extra special. As many of the public in Middletown know, in August of last year, I met a little boy, Luke Iacono, at the police youth week. And unfortunately, later that year in November, Luke passed away. And he was an incredibly strong young man, and that smile filled up the room. But Infinite Love for Kids was there for him and his family. And Frank and Michelle are just wonderful people. I'm honored to call them my friends. But this September, obviously, as we have done in the past, we're proclaiming it Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month in September 2020. But the most important thing, and I'm going to let Andrea speak about her organization very, very briefly, but this year, the Mayor's 5K is taking a little bit of a different appearance. We are going all virtual this year. And like last year, we, all the funds raised, and we raised, I believe, $7,000 last year for our first responders. This year, in honor of Luca and in honor of work that Infinite Love for Kids does, all the proceeds of this year's Mayor's 5K will be going to Infinite Love for Kids, which does incredible work, helping people pay their mortgage, go on vacations, to have bonding experiences, and pay for the unintended consequences, because oftentimes we don't think about it, but parents have to take leave of absences from their jobs to take care of it. And I got to give a shout out to my friend Brady Waltz, who is John Waltz, one of our assistant fire chief's sons, who was diagnosed with cancer, and we're praying for him every single day. And I know you're going to get through this, Brady, and stay strong, my friend. But I'll quickly turn it over to Andrea.
Well, thank you so much. We are so honored when you told me that we were going to be the recipients of the 5K, especially of all years, since we couldn't have predicted this. It's every little penny literally counts. For Infinite Love, we started off of a single dollar because my younger daughter, Natalie, who is now a healthy 11-year-old. She's been cancer-free in remission for 5 years, a little past 5 years. She was diagnosed with high-risk acute lymphoblastic leukemia in 2012, and that's kind of where all this started. You know, as a parent, you're devastated upon a diagnosis like cancer, and you just want to dig in and learn everything that you can, not just about your child's cancer, about cancer for children in general. And the more facts that we learned about how underfunded childhood cancer research is, the more we wanted to try to do our part to make a difference during Natalie's fight. Fast forward to now, Infinite Love is an official 501c3. We're volunteer-based, so every dollar goes right to our cause. We've already given over $1 million in research to include some of our nation's top research hospitals and facilities like CHOP and Sloan, Dana-Farber. But like Mayor Perry said, we also help families. So we'll help them with household bills. We'll do special things for the siblings. And in some circumstances, we've even helped cover the cost and planning of memorials. So, you know, childhood cancer just causes havoc on every part of a family's life, and not just a family's, but clearly a community's, because, you know, you're naming specific children that you know. So when a child is diagnosed, it's like not just our child's diagnosed, it's like Middletown's children. And, you know, it really means a lot that you guys are taking the time to take it seriously and to help us make a difference. So, and to thank you, everybody out there. I hope you guys like break the record for the registrants for the 5K.
We hope so.
Yeah.
And so, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And if anyone is interested in participating in the Mayor's 5K, please visit middletownnj.org/5K. You can sign up there for a 1 mile virtual run or a 5 mile full 5K and partake, and know that this is going to be benefiting an incredible cause and an incredible organization that's from right here in Middletown. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's great. Oh, thank you. All right, take a picture. Yeah, the social distance.
Social distancing, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you met my daughter. This is my daughter, Hannah. She's an 8th grader at Thompson this year. And this incredible young woman has shaved her head 7 years in a row.
Oh, wow.
Her kid's fighting cancer. This is the first time her hair has been long since she was 7 years old. Yeah, so she's pretty amazing.
I have no excuse then.
See?
Only if Committeeman Senabrino does it. So.
All right. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
All right.
So I'll continue on. We have some proclamations for the record tonight. A proclamation recognizing September 11th as Patriot Day and National Day of Service and Remembrance in Middletown Township. We have a proclamation recognizing September 2020 as Hunger Action Month in Middletown Township. And we have a proclamation recognizing September 2020 as National Preparedness Month in Middletown Township. Our next item, we have known action items for tonight's meeting. We have a public hearing. Public hearing 2020-3296, an ordinance authorizing sale of Block 85, Lot 5, which is 206 Raritan Place, to the Bank of America, which was acquired through an interim foreclosure due to an inadvertent title defect for consideration and satisfaction of outstanding liens and taxes.
Any member of the public wishing to speak on ordinance number 2020-3296? We are utilizing, and I apologize, I wasn't here at the last meeting, but we are now utilizing the raise hand function. So if you would like to speak again on public ordinance 2020-3296, authorizing the sale of Block 85, Lot 5, which is 206 Raritan Place, please hit the raise hand function.
I don't see any hands, but there is a call in, so I'll have to ask them.
Go ahead, Heidi.
Would you like to speak? No members.
I'll give one more opportunity. Any member of the public wishing to speak on public ordinance number 2020-3296, an ordinance authorizing the sale of block 85 lot 5, which is 206 Raritan Place. Please use the raise hand feature. Okay. Seeing no members of the public wishing to make a public comment, I move to close the public portion and approve.
Second.
Committeeman Heibel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snow.
yes,
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt this ordinance on second and final reading. Our next ordinance is for introduction. We have ordinance 2020-3297, an ordinance approving sale of township-owned real property in block 264, lot 11.
Motion to introduce.
second,
Committeeman Heibel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snow.
yes,
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held September 21st, 2020. Our next item, we have introduction of ordinance 2020-3298, an amended 2020 salary ordinance.
Motion to introduce.
Second.
Committeeman Heibel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snow.
yes,
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held September 21st, 2020. Our next ordinance for introduction, we have 2020-3299, an ordinance authorizing enforcement of traffic regulations and parking restrictions upon the private or semi-public roadways known as Graves Court.
Motion to introduce.
second,
Committeeman Heibel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snow.
yes,
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held September 21st, 2020. At this time, I'd like to ask the Township Committee to adopt a consent agenda, which would include resolutions 20-186 through 20-197.
Heidi, I'm going to ask you to pull 20-195 for a separate vote, please.
So noted.
Motion to approve consent agenda with resolution 20-195. Move for a separate vote.
Second.
Committeeman Heibel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snow.
yes,
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt a consent agenda. At this time, we have resolution 20-195, a resolution approving shared service agreement with the Borough of Highlands for municipal clerk support services.
Motion to approve.
second,
Committeeman Heibel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Recuse.
Committeewoman Snow.
yes,
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution 20-195 with recusal vote. At this time, we have the Township Committee acting as the ABC issue authority. We have 20-198, a resolution of the Township Committee of the Township of Middletown, New Jersey, authorizing a place-to-place transfer with extension of premise to license 1331-33-041 for LLC.
Move to adopt, I'm sorry.
Second.
Committeeman Heibel.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeewoman Snow.
yes,
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt resolution 20-198. Okay, we have agenda items for the next regular meeting, which will be certificates of proclamations, approval of minutes, public hearing on proposed ordinances, introduction of proposed ordinances, and a consent agenda. At this time, we have no discussion items unless anyone has anything to add.
We have a couple of items. I sent you all some policy issue changes to our township policy guide. So Jim I'm just going to let Jim go through them very quickly. Just to put on your radar screen, we're going to send you formal language about what we're changing, but just so you know that some of the areas that we're working on, hopefully this month or in October, we'll be able to adopt. Some of them come around as a result of some federal legislation. Okay. You there?
Jim?
Yes. Okay, good. Thanks, Heidi. There are three. We want to go back to the discussion about our drug and alcohol policy. We went over that it was a long time ago now, last year, I believe it was. But there are two new ones. The two new ones are the New Jersey Domestic Violence Policy for public employers and the model policy addressing the protection and safe treatment of minors. Both of these are required by state statute that we need to adopt them. The domestic violence policy will require us to name human resource individuals to be trained and to assist employees who might be victims of domestic violence. And the model policy for the treatment and protection, safe treatment of minors will require us to make some policies regarding our hiring, training, and record-keeping policies with regards to minors and their care and treatment. I believe we sent these around already, but I'm going to draft them in final form, as Tony said, the next couple of weeks, and we'll send them around. We can adopt them either later in September or in October.
Okay. Anything else?
So the other item, and I sent you all an email, but I'm going to pass this around to you so you can take a look. Right. This is, we got a request from a property owner, and it's like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6th property. And this is a kind of an odd situation, but we have multiple of these odd situations. The dark line you see is, I guess, a paper street, although it's kind of odd. It's not really clear. It doesn't show up like most paper streets do. Most paper streets have a full 50-foot right-of-way width. This one is only 22 and a half feet wide. When you look at the tax map, it lists it as Old Drift Road, which is really odd because there's another Drift Road, Old Drift Road, down in Belford. So the fact that they have the same name and are miles away from each other is odd. But anyway, so interestingly, in doing some research, Alex was able to find, I don't think Alex is still on, but back in 1962, the Township Committee discussed vacating this right-of-way. And they authorized their attorney, Lawrence Carton II, Lawrence Carton Jr., to send this out to the various departments in town and see if anybody had any objections, which is still the process we have today for tree vacations. But then it doesn't appear in any other, ever again. It doesn't look like it was ever raised again, probably because of the pain in the neck it is. But these houses all back up to this right of way. So technically, it doesn't show up, like I said, as a traditional paper street. So it's not totally clear whether it's our property or just a right of way that's been taken from the properties on either side of it. Because it appears that it might have been there before even a lot of these houses were built. So one of the property owners, I think he's the 6th property in from Stephanie, has requested to vacate the portion behind their home. And he came in and said, I want to get this vacated. I said, well, you understand, if we did vacate it, you'd only get half of it because people on the other side would be entitled to the other half. And he's like, that's fine. He has a very odd-shaped property, so it gives him a little bit more room. But I said this may be too complicated to untangle because really everyone along here would have to be okay with amending their deed, amending their survey to take on an additional 8.5 feet or so of property, 11 feet of property. So I just want to bring it to your attention. Some of these properties also have improvements in the right of way, fences, pool decks, sheds, and all sorts of things. So it's like that situation we looked at a few months ago. And I know we didn't want to deal with that, but here we've got an active property owner saying, I want to do this. And I can simply say to him, it's just, too complicated, we're not going to do it. It's not really a great answer. But, or we can start the process of reaching out to all these property owners and saying, would you all be in agreement to vacating this and each taking your half of the right of way? And if they all do it, they'd all have to be responsible to go ahead and do their deed reporting. And if they do it, then it becomes theirs. So it's not a heck of a lot of work on our part. We've made the ball in their court basically and say, in order to make this happen, you have to do these things. Or we could theoretically make you move, if those of you who have improvements in it, we could make you move them out of there. And they're probably not going to want that. Their insurer probably would be crazy about the fact that they have property on outside of their property boundaries.
Everyone has to go along with this?
Well, I mean, I guess if some people did the proper recording, deed recording, title search, and survey, it would get chopped up into pieces. Not everyone did it, but it doesn't really matter because it's not like it's a road that's ever going to be built. As you see, it dead ends. It's developed. This is the development on Main Street where the two-family homes are. That's where the red zone boundary is there. But it just dead ends there. So it's not like a road that will ever have any purpose to be built. It's not even the proper width for a road, unless it's a one-way. So again, we have this situation. And by the way, there are two other streets just like this in the same neighborhood on Harvard. Fortunately, those two cases don't involve multiple property owners. They involve two in each case. I didn't bring those maps with me. I can show them to you, but there's two others right in the same vicinity that don't seem to have any purpose. They seem to have been like an old road alignment from many, many years ago, long before the 60s. Potential future road, and it just never went away. Very odd. And I will say, one of the other two that I mentioned does have the proper width. This one and one other one do not. They're half the width. Half the road. So I guess, we can
That's 20 properties.
Yeah, I know. I would say probably half of them have done encroachments. The other half don't seem to have.
Well, I'm obviously speaking for myself. I have no problem vacating this paper street. It's never going to be used for anything from the township's perspective. I get to that point, there's encroachment because probably most of them don't even know that there's a paper street, back there. But this issue is not uncommon, as Committeeman Heibel knows.
I love cleaning this stuff up.
Yeah, I know you do. So I don't have a problem with vacating the street and letting them know that you're gonna have to get the survey work done.
I have no issue.
Right.
It's great to get it done.
And then we might end up doing it in a piecemeal fashion over time.
Yeah, it's just how.
If there was a remote likelihood, or there were utilities in it, for example, it would be a different story.
Sure.
We wouldn't vacate it.
Right.
But there's just nothing here.
It's would that be done by ordinance or by resolution?
Ordinance. So it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
I think the property owner understands that it's messy and will take some time. I don't think they're, super hurried for any particular reason. I think they just want to see it get cleaned up.
Right.
It's been 60 years, so.
Yeah.
All right. Kev, do you have any problems with that?
Thank you.
No, I'm good with it, thank you.
Okay. All right.
Any comments?
Okay. Committeeman Senabrino?
Yes. I'm sorry, I'll reserve my comments until the public meeting, thank you.
Okay. Committeewoman Snell, who I should have gone to first. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you, Mayor. Well, little by little for our restaurants and small businesses. Just remember that the community at large is behind you and will continue to support you, and hopefully brighter days are ahead. Also, for parents with that emotional struggle on sending their kids back to school, I know a lot of the private schools are up and running right now. But the decisions they've had to make on how to send their kids back to school is the epitome of a rock and a hard place. The only thing I can tell you is that my hope is that they're back in person quickly and safely. And I know that's probably the mindset of a lot of parents out there. But I don't want it to appear that we're taking your decisions lightly, because I know it's very hard for you to make those decisions. And my heart goes out to you for that. I have grandkids, and I'm almost as emotional as my kids are about what to do with them. So hopefully we'll all get back in person quickly and safely. The third thing I wanted to mention quickly, again, our hearts are going to be heavy on Friday as we remember those we lost on September 11th. And we will gather again at 7:30 at night at the World Trade Center Memorial Gardens to honor their lives. So I just wanted to invite everyone in town to come by and honor with us. And that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Committeeman Hybel.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to say hats off to the Gorsinger family. I didn't realize $1 million since 2012 was raised. It's really amazing. I served Chief with John, and I know his son, and I know his Dan and his wife worked very hard on this. So great job, amazing job. To all the kids going back to school, be safe. Excited to get them moving along in whatever direction they have going on. I also, let's see, second, also would echo Newman Snell's comments about September 11th on Friday. See everyone there, it'd be great to see everyone. And that's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Just very briefly, really had the honor of going over to a 108-year-old's birthday party at Brighton Gardens. And while that doesn't seem like, wow, what a thrill, Annadelle Fiore, yeah, is just an absolute, she's 108 years old, had the Spanish flu as a child, survived, had COVID-19 at 107. Oh, and by the way, her 105-year-old sister went through the same thing. So if anybody's looking for a vaccine, Pfizer, Merck, whatever it may be, whoever you are, head on down to Brighton Gardens and talk to this family, because let me tell you, the genes are incredible in that one. One other thing I would just want to say, on August 31st, we recognized here in the Township International Overdose Awareness Day. And I just want to give a special shout out to Nikki Tierney, who I've gotten to know over the course of the last 2+ years, who has an incredible story, who was a star athlete, somebody who had a lot going for them, became a lawyer and lost her way due to drug addiction. And she has inspired me and opened my eyes to quite a bit about drug addiction and the struggles with drug addiction, and what it does on a family. And I've talked to quite a few who thanked me for recognizing this day, but no thanks was necessary. We've lost 99 souls in Monmouth County due to drug addiction in 2020. And with all going on, it's incredibly sad to have to, it's something else that we have to deal with. So I just want to thank her for helping me, for giving me an eye-opening story to help tell. So I want to thank her. September 11th. Listen, 19 years ago, Middletown lost 37 souls. And on Friday, we will once again reconvene and remember them. 19 years ago, we, as a community, as a state, as a nation, promised that we would never forget those we lost on that day. And Middletown's not going to. as an 11-year-old kid on September 11th, I think about not just the images of September 11th, I think about the images of September 12th and the patriotism and the American pride that we felt as a nation on that day. And I think during these tumultuous times that we live in, as we experience an international pandemic, as we deal with the rigors of life in general, I think one day, this Friday, we can stop for a second and remember September 12th and the pride and the patriotism we felt. I think we could all use a little bit of pick-me-up. And while it's a sad day, we could all use that hope. So I hope you'll join us. Just so everyone knows, this year is a little bit different. The traditional reading of the names at the World Trade Center Museum in New York City is not taking place. So I'm very grateful to the chiefs of our police department, our fire department, our EMS, and our OEM. Together, we will stand at the World Trade Center Memorial Gardens here in town, and we will read off the names of those that we lost on that day. It's not something that we can forget about, and that's why we embodied the Never Forget slogan. We won't forget. Middletown's not going to forget. And I know while I'm sitting in this chair, I won't let us all forget. So with that being said, I'll open it up for public comment. As we did for the public hearing, we're going to use the raise hand feature. So if I know that there is one person on the phone, oh, I'm sorry, that person hung up. All right. So if you would like to make a public comment, we ask that you just please state your name and address for the record. We ask that you keep your comments to 5 minutes or 4 minutes. I'll let you know that you have 1 minute left, and if you can please begin to wrap up your comments. And so if you would like to make a public comment, please just use the raise hand feature. And I just want to also state one more thing that I forgot to. Now, as we have watched this curve flatten on COVID-19, as we continue to step forward and we see that restaurants are opening and movie theaters are opening, and we're able to try and get back to as much as they can of their pre-COVID-19 days. We are working towards our next meeting to reopen to the public so that the public can sit here in Town Hall. We will continue, obviously, utilize the WebEx feature. You'll continue to be able to call in and use the online portal to ask questions and make comments. But please know that we are reopening our township committee meetings to the public. There are obviously, due to social distancing guidelines, there'll be some fewer seats, obviously. But we are, we'll continue to utilize the WebEx. So I just wanted to get that in. Thank you, Heidi.
This time I don't see any hands raised.
Don's got his hand up, I think.
Okay. Mr. Watson, you can go ahead.
I'm still muted. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I understand you had a baby girl a couple weeks ago.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations. I remember when we had our first baby girl about 36 years ago. It was quite a delight, let me tell you. And
she is a ball personality, let me tell you already.
She sure is, even to this day. Anyway, she stopped by with my granddaughter over the weekend, and we decided, like Pat Snell says, what do you do with grandchildren? So we decided to take a walk over to our local park, Chancellor Park off Wilson Avenue, and go play in the playground. So we walked over there and got to the playground, and we were very disappointed, I'm sorry to say. My granddaughter loves to swing on the swings, which there are none at Chancellor Park. There used to be when I was a child. I don't know what happened to them, but we have all of this plastic playground equipment now, and it's not suitable for 2-year-olds, except for the slide. But because there was no shade, the slide was burning hot, so she only got to go down that a couple times. But she did have fun on the slide, but nothing else was suitable for her. The only other thing she enjoyed was throwing a stick into the creek over there to watch the water splash, and that was in the shade. So that was fun for her. Also, there's no place to sit over there, for anybody, even us old people. We have nowhere to sit except on the grass. It would be great if we're going to have that plastic playground equipment to plant a couple trees so it's in the shade and it doesn't get hot where the children can't go on it. Okay.
I'll take a ride out there, Don, and we'll take a look at it and see if we can come up with some type of
solution.
We actually, so we did get a grant that we're still working on. We received it through Monmouth County, which is going to redo about 8, I believe 7 or 8 playgrounds, and Chancellor was definitely one of them. So it is slated to be redone. The slide, the original swings were taken out because they just got old and really weren't appropriate anymore. But we will be replacing it with a new playground.
And Tony, you're breaking up. I don't know whether you're talking too fast or the echo that's in the room, but
so we will be replacing the playground at Chancellor. It's one of the ones we have our grant application. So probably hoping in the springtime we'll be getting it.
Yeah, I was going to go scope out some other parks to see, for when she comes back the next time where we could go.
Try Croydon Hall. That's the best.
Yeah.
Try where?
Croydon Hall.
Croydon Hall? Yeah, that's only like 2.5, 3 miles away from my house.
Yeah.
We did find a nice swing in one of the homeowners' properties on our way home, and my granddaughter.
I'm sure they didn't mind.
I don't recommend that.
They didn't mind at all, and my granddaughter says that was the best swing ever.
Tell me that address. We'll take a look at the swing.
I didn't get the house number, but I think it's on Aberdeen or something like that over there.
Okay.
And also, to get to the playground equipment, you have to push a stroller through the grass that's over there, which is like next to impossible, even with the child not in the stroller. So maybe when you get that grant money, you can make a little path like from the parking lot.
Actually, Don, that is included with all the new playgrounds. As we redo them, we have to create a pathway to access the playground area itself. And they usually also include some benches as well.
That's great. I'm glad I thought of that. Also, there's nothing to spin around on. My granddaughter loves to get dizzy. She loves to just spin around. So if you could put like one of them, what do they call them things when we were kids? They still call them.
Like a merry-go-round type of thing, yeah.
Yeah, one of them spin around things.
There's one of them at Croydon Hall, just so you know, Don.
Okay, the next time I'm in the neighborhood down in Leonardo, I'll have to stop by and check it out. Maybe I can help them guys when they're repairing the roof over there. But that's about all I wanted to mention. I'm glad to hear that there's something proactive going to be taken over there at Chancellor Park. I do remember playing Little League Baseball over there when I was a child, and look forward to seeing some more games over there. So thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I'm sure you do.
Any other member? Don raising his hand again.
I did not raise my hand again.
Okay, all right. All right, just one final time, if any member of the public would like to make a public comment, please use the raise hand feature. And Heidi will unmute your line. Any member of the public before we adjourn? It does not appear as if any member of the public. With that, I move to close public portion and adjourn.
Second.
Mayor Hybel.
Yes.
Mayor Sedambrino.
Yes.
Mayor Snell.
Yes.
Mayor Perry.
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn.
Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.